The Toyota RAV4, the brand's current generation mid-sized SUV, made a clean break with its more than 25 years of history when it went on sale in the UK at the beginning of 2019. Following so many of its rangemates, it switched into Toyota's latest TNGA modular vehicle platform technology. Its dimensions changed only slightly, becoming one of few new cars to become shorter at the curb than its immediate predecessor. But the mechanical change most will likely have noticed happened under the bonnet. Having been available in all of its previous forms with conventional petrol engines, and since the XA20 second generation version also with a diesel for those who wanted one, the new RAV4 switched to petrol-electric hybrid power exclusively. While buyers in other markets can buy conventional petrol engine versions of the car, then, in the UK the RAV4 comes with a 2.5-litre, 4-cylinder, atmospheric petrol engine and a combination of electric motors, depending on what version you opt for. Both front-wheel drive and four-wheel drive are available. Entry-level cars offer 215 bhp in front-wheel drive, while hybrid AWD models come with power increased slightly to 219 bhp, because they add a second electric drive motor for the rear axle. It's the range-topping RAV4 PHEV that we've elected to test, though, whose more powerful electric motors and drive battery combine with its combustion engine to produce up to 302 bhp, which is enough to get your attention. Being capable of almost 50 miles of lab-tested electric running on its 18.1 kWh drive battery, and emitting as little as 22 grams/km of CO2, the plug-in hybrid also moves the RAV4 into quite rarefied waters as a tax-saving company car. It's one of a still very limited number of family cars that might cost a fleet driver less than 10% of its showroom value in annual benefit-in-kind tax, but might also cost his fleet operator less than £50,000 at list price. The regular RAV4 hybrid can be had for much less, but no version of the car other than the PHEV promises to beat an advertised 50 miles per gallon, or emits less than 130 grams/km of carbon dioxide. The petrol hybrid RAV4 comes in a 4-tier model trim range that opens up with the sub-£32,000 Icon version, and continues with Design, Excel and the range-topping Dynamic. The plug-in hybrid version as tested here has 3 options: Design, Dynamic, and Dynamic Premium. Alloy wheel sizes range from 17 to 19 inches, and while entry-level cars miss out on equipment such as heated electric seats, LED headlights and front parking sensors, they do get adaptive cruise control and plenty of active safety kit as standard. All versions of the RAV4 intended for the UK market, including the range-topping plug-in version, are built in Japan. Toyota RAV4 design and styling. Toyota clearly set out to make an impact with this daring-looking 5th-generation RAV4. While it doesn't have the plunging roofline or slimline features of the smaller Toyota CHR crossover, there are much bolder lines and more chiseled features on display here than previous generations have had. You wouldn't call the result beautiful, but it'll certainly get your attention. At the risk of authoring a car that some may consider fussy, Toyota has carved plenty of form and detail into the RAV4's flanks, and, with some success, has chosen big standout design features to distinguish the car like its arrowhead radiator grille, kinked C-pillar and squared off-wheel arches. Underneath the body panels, the car's new all-steel model platform and chassis brings greater torsional rigidity, a lower center of gravity and double wishbone rear suspension, all of which promise improved handling. Both the bonnet line and driver's seat are 15 mm lower than in the 4th generation RAV4, while the glasshouse is larger than before, boosting visibility all round. The car's electromechanical power steering system is now rack rather than column mounted, while road-biased summer tires replace the all-weather type fitted to the previous generation car. Like so many of Toyota's hybrid-intended motors, the 2,487cc 4-cylinder petrol engine that primarily powers the RAV4 runs on the thermal efficiency-boosting Atkinson combustion cycle, and has a more under-square-cylinder design than its predecessor. The engine's smaller of bore and longer of stroke than its predecessor was, for better natural torque production. Fed by both direct and indirect fuel injection and aspirated by 2 different forms of intelligent variable valve timing technology, it produces up to 176 bhp for the car. It's mounted transversely under the bonnet, and it drives the front wheels in tandem with an electric motor/generator itself rated for up to 118 bhp. In the case of 4-wheel drive cars, A second electric motor drives the rear axle directly with up to 54 bhp, although total system power outputs for the front-driven hybrid and four-wheel drive hybrid AWDI are only 215 and 219 bhp respectively. The plug-in hybrid RAV4 uses most of the same mechanical ingredients as the regular hybrid, although its combustion engine produces slightly greater peak power, 182 bhp, and its front-mounted electric drive motor is significantly more powerful and torque-rich, 180 bhp, 199 pounds-foot. Total system output here is 302 bhp. As ever, Toyota doesn't quote a total system torque output, but with both electric motors working hard and the combustion engine's torque curve building, there can safely be imagined to be in excess of 400 pounds-foot finding their way to the car's axles. Featuring so much electrification, the RAV4 might never have been taken for a particularly lightweight member of the SUV set, but entry-level front-driven cars can actually weigh in at less than 1,600 kilograms according to Toyota's claims. A plug-in hybrid is nearly 300 kilograms heavier than a like-for-like, all-wheel drive regular hybrid, however. Our FEV test car weighed in at 1,949 kilograms in running order and with fuel on board, but that fell well within Toyota's claimed curb weight range for it. It's plainly not light. Allowing for the car's good-sized 18.1 kilowatt-hours drive battery though, it might actually qualify for quiet praise against a backdrop of FEV SUVs which almost universally weigh more than 2 tons. The RAV4's interior has been well prepared for everyday family life. There's plenty of space for up to 5 occupants, with taller adults able to find enough space in the back pretty easily, although there's no sliding back seat functionality here. Access is easy too, and the seats are comfortable, while the good-sized boot offers more than 500 liters of loading volume below the tonneau cover, rising to more than 1,600 up to the roof with the seats folded. There's a little bit more cargo space still in a regular hybrid than in a FEV, and the latter doesn't have room for a spare wheel where the former does, but still offers plenty of versatility.